There we go. Now we've played another one of the normal people fucking games, which are obviously boring and based on categorizations and things that don't make any sense. We're going to now blame Lilith. And here's how we're going to blame Lilith, okay? Lilith didn't have the guts to kill Adam and God at the start. She proudly proclaimed that she would not bow to fucking Adam, but didn't do anything to stop the patriarchy from developing in the first place. She sat in the background and she watched God fucking take Adam's rib out and do some kind of genetic modification fucking thing to make the little robot fucking Eve fucking appear, and laughed her fucking heads off as a slave bitch fucking came along and started to obey him. She didn't stop that from happening. She could have stopped that from happening by killing Adam, by killing God, by burning down the entire Garden of Eden, saying ha ha ha, and then so what if she starved to fucking death? She obviously didn't care about freedom. What she cared about was independence. Do you know the difference between freedom and independence? Freedom means there's no one to bother you, so and to enslave you. Independence means you're not joined to them like some kind of codependent idiot. Lilith was a stupid bitch who was working for the patriarchy by giving them an excuse to create a slave bitch in the first place. Because all those men needed was an excuse. That one didn't obey. So they'll create one that does. If she couldn't see that for what it was and just kill them, it means she didn't have guts. She didn't actually believe in gender equality, because in gender equality, both women and men are capable of murder. You don't have to like it, but if you want equality, you need to say that everyone is capable of all the same stuff. Good, bad, and neutral. So Lilith showed that she wasn't capable of equality, that she was only capable of setting up scenarios where slave women were created and that she was a tool for God to give men excuses to do such a thing. That she was a tool and a weapon and she was a slave of the Creator in the first place. Because Jehovah was externalizing his tendency to do what? Blame a creation that was less like him, more likely than a creation that was more like him. So with Jehovah's creations, the more that they were like him, the less likely he was to blame them. Because Adam was made in Jehovah's image, he didn't blame Adam. Because Eve was less like Jehovah, he blamed Eve. Because Lilith was less like Jehovah and less like Adam, he blamed Lilith. Lilith was created as a means for God to externalize responsibility onto someone who was less like him. Okay? And the purpose of that externalization was to create an excuse program so that slave women could be created, and the externalization of his control fantasy in the form of Adam could in turn also have a control fantasy, so we could watch his control fantasies play out. He was creating these little sims, as it were. They were his sims, and externalizing his issues onto each one of them. That's why they were created in his image. Aren't you glad that God never existed in the first place? Aren't you glad? Aren't you very, very glad?